The thing is, they talk about him growing from his old self. He was loved and revered when he was his old self, when he was more edgy and like crazy on YouTube. You know, people loved him back then. I don't think it's the lack of personal growth that pisses people off. I think it's just the perception of like fakeness and phoniness. All right, I'm finally giving in to what the people want, to what the sloppers want. All right, KSI drama. KSI is in some major shit right now. And my understanding of it is not because he's a uniquely bad person. I think it's because he's just very unlikable as a guy and is, you know, seemingly sold out, which a lot of other YouTubers have done. But I think it's because he kind of like in the beginning posited himself as like a grassroots, unique dude. But then, you know, he ended up kind of just being a money maxing dude in the end, which I think a lot of people don't like. I think that the criticism of Lunchley is not a unique evil. I think a lot of it's just kind of, you know, who's doing it, but, you know, we'll get into that.
Stay my time, TDM fans. Womp womp.
KSI and Logan have responded to the Lunchley drama yet again, and this is by far the worst response yet. Basically, if you missed the last video, they were having these crybaby meltdowns after Dan TDM called them out for the new product Lunchley, which is some ultra-processed food that they're trying to sell to kids. Pretty much they made a bunch of tweets crying about the whole situation and even made new videos on their channels. And basically it was a large amount of copium and fake laughing, but today we have a bunch of updates from—
There was a lot of copium and fake laughing, but in fairness, like, he was right. Hold on. At least with his initial response, he was right. I kind of want to watch this first video. KSI destroyed his reputation. Kind of want to get into that because I think we have to go back to the beginning to really understand what happened here. All right, so we're going to start. KSI just destroyed his reputation to try and understand this drama.
KSI and Logan are having complete crybaby meltdowns right now.
I'm complaining about a lunch absent dickheads. Now don't.
Hey, JJ is so funny.
Wipe that drool out of your mouth, dude. Oh my god. I mean, I think you should just suck him off at this point. Anyways, as you guys know, this whole situation started with one tweet by Dan TDM calling out KSI, Logan, and MrBeast's new product, Lunchley, which is a ultra-processed snack, which is not good for you, and it's kind of seemed like a soulless money grab. And basically that one singular tweet by Dan TDM made KSI tweet about 10 times, Logan tweet a bunch of times, KSI made an entire video on it just having an utter breakdown, and then Logan made another video crying even harder, and then KSI made even more tweets, quote-unquote, apologizing about the situation, which is, keep in mind, Dan TDM has not said a single word other than that one tweet like a week ago. I mean, this is just absolutely embarrassing. They're still getting bodied with absolutely zero effort from Dan TDM. So, anyways, let's just go over the updates. So basically, KSI dropped that video where he—
All right, well, I think it's important here to go over the actual tweets, which I do have. Okay, so initially what happened is this tweet was posted, okay, showing off this Lunchley product, all right, where they just kind of go through it. They, you know, Lunchley is like a Lunchable ripoff, essentially. It's got Prime and Feastables in it, and then it's just got a bunch of, like, it's the same exact thing as Lunchables, right? They have, like, a cheese and crackers one, they have a nachos one, they have a pizza one, and Dan TDM tweeted about this, and he had a very negative opinion. Here's what he said. What happened to YouTubers, man? I cannot say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know any better than the trusted people who are selling it to them. Do better. So I saw this and I thought it was a little silly because I guess to me, I just don't have very high expectations of Logan Paul or KSI. Like, I expect them to sell some like kind of product. I don't particularly care. At least I didn't care at first. I was like, okay, you could just not buy it. It is FDA approved. It's not uniquely unhealthy. There's a lot of other shit at the grocery store that's just as bad, if not worse. But I was like, okay, I didn't really care about this. But KSI responded. And I thought his initial response was actually good, okay? So here's what he said. Because here, Dan TM is like, you're selling this just for the sake of profit. This doesn't help anyone. This doesn't benefit anyone, right? But KSI said, looks like crap to me. And he showed these Tube Heroes toys that are obviously like, you know, I don't think it's a stretch to say that Dan TDM wasn't selling this for the betterment of the world. He wasn't selling it to help the world, right? He was just selling it because it's like a shitty product that new people would buy. Now, the community note here reads, not only has KSI worked with them before, the CEO of YouTube's Austin Long got to start by managing the Sidemen and was an executive producer on their YouTube Red Show. And this is true, but I don't think this community note or a lot of the people in the response is like understood what KSI is saying. What he's saying is like, look, you can criticize me all you want for this, right? But this is not a uniquely bad thing. Everybody is money max before. Everybody's done this. But a lot of people were just like, oh, like KSI is being a hypocrite. And he's like, KSI never expressed there was a problem with selling toys or selling like food. Dan TDM did. But then people are like, okay, well, he's selling a toy here. It's not food. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. But then KSI also was able to point out that Dan had also sold candy to his child audience. But I was talking about food, JJ. He was sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video about Munch Pack, a monthly sub box full of food and candy to his Minecraft audience full of kids. Now what? And you can see here that Dan did do this. Now, there are some caveats here that I think are important and kind of lessen the blow of this criticism. First of all, realistically, this was 10 years ago. So, you know, to call someone out for hypocrisy for something like this is like, it was 10 years ago. Unless Dan is being hypocritical right now or within the last few months or years, I don't think this is a super valid thing. But on top of that, Dan didn't create this business. He promoted it once. Okay. Literally once. Now, I think a lot of the response people will give to this is like, oh, well, you know, people don't have to buy this product. He sold it optionally. But at the same time, you don't have to buy Lunchly. That was an optional promotion. And I think a lot of the hatred of this kind of stuff more comes from this idea that Dan TDM, whatever you want to say about him, he is more of a YouTuber. He comes across like a more genuine guy, right? He hasn't completely kind of quote unquote sold out and gone to like try to, you know, turn everything into like some new business he's doing. He's not doing boxing and rapping and all this shit. KSI, on the other hand, has definitely gotten to a level where he's less interested in like having that YouTube audience. He almost seems like he wants to escape it in a way. And I think a lot of it is coming down to the clear sort of, maybe it's unclear. I think a lot of it's coming down to perception. And I think that perception can be important because I think what people are actually mad about here isn't the fact that KSI and Logan Paul and Mr. Beast sold a junk food product, because a lot of other YouTubers have done that. I don't think that's the real complaint people have. I think the real complaint that people aren't being vocal about is more of a feeling of KSI is not an amazing guy, right? He has defended Logan Paul for the Crypto Zoo thing. Logan Paul did the Crypto Zoo thing. He did the Suicide Forest thing. There's a lot of criticisms against Logan Paul. And then you have Mr. Beast, who obviously has had a ton of controversy lately. Who you are as a person will heavily weigh on the actions that you perpetuate or take, right? I think that is really important. But yeah, I think a lot of that is down to like general likability, genuinely. But the problem is like KSI couldn't take it on the chin. He could not. He kept going and going and going and going and going and going. Like, he won't shut the fuck up about it. They're still complaining about it to this day, like weeks later. They're still complaining about it. And it makes KSI look extremely insecure. Honestly, I think it would have been better off if KSI just said nothing. But he seemingly is like very upset about this idea. And he's like continuing to run with it and run with it and run with it. You gotta watch this one first.
From KSI making another new apology video on his Clips channel to Logan Paul promoting Lunchly from the hospital room of his newborn baby.
That is part of it. Like, when I talk about likability, Logan Paul is such a weird person. Like, he had a child and his instant thought was, oh, I'm having a child. How do I work in this like product promotion for my thing, right? It's very, very odd. Like, you saw pictures of him with like the child in the, you know, his kid was just born with his wife. She's like in bed. And next to the bed, you've got Lunchly. And he's like, of course you got Lunchly here. Like, he's just a very unlikable, weird person who like seemingly every single thing he does is about business.
I really wish I was joking. But anyways, let's start off with KSI post.
Like, he comes across as like extremely unrelatable, and he is. He's a weird dude. Versus like Dan TDM is a much more likable guy personally.
A new video to his Clips channel called My Apology to Dan TDM.
Hey guys, a lot's happened these past few days, and I've had a lot of time to reflect.
Me, if I ever have to apologize for saying the N-word.
And really understand everything that's happened and all of my actions. And, you know, first of all, I want to, sorry.
I feel Dan's argument is more about what merch drops are versus what KSI is doing. Like it or not, merch drops are community focused and helps validate that sense of community. Meanwhile, KSI is just shilling. I mean, maybe that is part of it, you know, maybe. But the thing is, like, if you look at the statements itself that people make, you have to really read into it to get that criticism. Like what Dan TDM said is like, YouTubers are just selling shit for profit. It's like, well, I like the shirts I make. I think they're a good product. I think they're really cool. But at the same time, I also do it for profit. I want to make money off of it. Now, I think a lot of it also comes down to the idea of the product being bad or shitty. I think that's definitely a part of the conversation. And I think that Lunchly is not uniquely a bad thing, but with YouTubers who like initially started their career for like their personality and like you see them kind of come up, I think for a lot of fans, it feels disappointing to see them promote something like that, you know? And it depends on the fan base you have ultimately too. You can monetarily gain, but also not have the main focus being that. He definitely wanted money, but his main goal wasn't just to get money, it was to have merch in that community sense. I don't think that's true though. I don't think that's true at all. That's totally not true. You think the reason that he did the product is to have a community sense? If that was it, he would have just given it away. If that was it, Dan TDM would have just given away all the figures. No, he wanted to make money, which is fine. It's totally fine to want to make money. You know, the merch I make, I think is really good merch. Actually, I know it's really good merch because our margins aren't that great on it. Okay. Like they're not great. It kind of, I was like talking to my mom about this the other day. She was like, your margins suck. And I was like, Mom, come on. I'm trying to make something cool here. All right. It's not just about the money, but it is also about the money. You have to keep in mind. I wouldn't keep doing it if I was operating at a loss, unless I had like months and months of profit and I thought I could recover at some point, you know? But yeah, our margins, as SB and chat will attest, they're not amazing compared to a lot of other clothing. I didn't know you had merch. We do limited drops. I'm tired of advertising your products as healthier when they're the same thing, different food coloring. I think that is a lot of it too. Like there's just a perceived fakeness because Logan Paul will be like, this is a better for you option. It's healthier, you know, and people are like, well, it's not really healthy though. It's still kind of slop. Is your mom single? No, my mother has been married for 25 years to my father. Okay. Let it be known.
Okay, obviously in standard KSI fashion, it's yet another fake apology with another bunch of fake laughs, with Logan sucking him off under the table, giving him the Ultra Gluck Gluck Glizzy 9000. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind...
Well, I would also just, if you watch the videos of KSI, like, there's so much fake laughing. And same with Logan. Like, they're just very, like, they come across as super fake and insufferable. And they definitely are.
This is the same guy whining on Twitter asking why everybody just hates him.
People just hate us.
I wonder why, guys. I wonder why people actually hate KSI. Maybe because you're an insufferable piece of shit, man. I don't know. Even when you're completely wrong in the situation, you keep doubling down over and over and over again.
I would say it's different. I think he's relatively right, or more right than people are willing to give him credit for. But because he's so unlikable, you know, people view it with a more harsh angle, which is going to happen. That is a reality.
Pretending it's just racist people that hate you or Dan TDM fans that are mauling or something, when in reality, it's your own fans that just don't like you anymore. I feel like people are slowly understanding that just because somebody was entertaining in the past doesn't mean they are a good person and should continue to be supported, right? Because from what I understand, your entire Reddit hates you, your entire YouTube comment section hates you, the Twitter feed is just absolutely ratioing you. Literally on every single social media, you're getting apps.
They do hate him. They're kind of turning on him. And this is kind of like one of the things that you give up when you become one of these like really mainstream dudes. The like initial audience that really liked you leaves, and you only really have like the complete normies, which, you know, if that's what you want, that can be fine. But I think the like hardcore KSI audience is probably not going to be there going forward for a while.
Absolutely cooked. And that's not Dan TDM fans. That is your own fans that are disappointed because you are showing so much immaturity when they probably thought that you somewhat grew from your old self. But instead you ended up just an extremely cocky and annoying person. I mean, KSI is pretty much
the thing is, they talk about him growing from his old self. He was loved and revered when he was his old self, when he was more edgy and like crazy on YouTube. You know, people loved him back then. I don't think it's the lack of personal growth that pisses people off. I think it's just the perception of like fakeness and phoniness.
Exact opposite of Dan TDM, you know? Because if someone is going to describe Dan TDM, they'd probably say he's humble, kind, and just all around good guy who probably wants the best for his audience. Meanwhile, KSI's legacy is being an absolute insufferable dickhead, selling out his audience for money, crypto rug pulls, unhealthy products for kids, and of course being best friends with Logan Paul and Mr. Beast. Like, I don't know how he has the audacity to talk about legacy when he makes decisions like this all the time and has pretty much ruined any sort of legacy he might have had.
I want to apologize.
will the legacy of these guys be? I guess the legacy for someone like KSI or Logan Paul or Mr. Beast will not be as like being amazing people. It will just be like, because ultimately the hatred does fade with time. People will forget a lot of the controversies. I think a lot of the legacy will just be like they had really good numbers and that will be about it. I don't think people will really, I don't think they'll be like a loyal, dedicated KSI fan base in like 20 years probably, which if some people don't care about that, that is what it is. But, it really depends on your priorities on YouTube. And I don't think that KSI, Logan Paul, or Mr. Beast really care about like having some kind of genuine connection with their audience. Yeah, that's my impression.
Let's apologize.
They make money, but it's scamming and grifting. I mean, it is a case-by-case basis. The majority of the money that these guys made has not been by scamming and grifting. It's by making YouTube videos. But you do have, like, specific business ventures, like with Logan Paul, with, like, CryptoZoo, where, obviously there's a lot of people who are going to be critical of that. But that's not where the majority of his money comes from. It's just kind of, he has seemingly an insatiable greed where he can't stop himself from getting involved in these, like, just completely financial projects.
I want to say something. Hey, yo, drink Prime and eat lunch with me.
Like, the fake laughter, people just hate this. They absolutely hate this. Because it's clearly so fake and overplayed. So where is he filming? What room is this? Is this like a studio? What is this?
Stay mad, Dan TDM fans. Womp womp.
Like... What even is this? It's his house. Weird house. Why do people want their house to look like a fucking dystopian studio? What is like? Why? Once again, he's just such a weird dude. He's completely unrelatable at this point to the average person, which I think a lot of people pick up on, and they just don't like that generally.
Perfectly sane man over there. That is the look of somebody who is absolutely unbothered by the situation. You guys totally got owned, man. That guy is cool as a cucumber, obviously. Also, I don't know why he keeps saying Dan TDM fans. That must be like some severe form of copium, because it is really your own fans. Because if you remember...
But with so much like YouTube experience, you would think that like KSI would know that this is just not good. Like, he should just shut the fuck up. If you're going to sell stuff like this, that like a lot of people are going to think is a shitty product, like it's already probably going to get bought in the millions, right? Like, so many people are already going to buy it. Why even engage with this kind of thing? Why not just ignore it? And as for why KSI like is just saying it's all Dan TDM fans, well, he doesn't want to acknowledge that, some of his audience is turning on him. It's not a good thing to play into that and acknowledge it, Tactically speaking, that is one thing that he did well, I guess, but realistically, I think that it's going to cost him in the long run, posting all these weird, just like endless, like he just keeps going with the responses. He just fucking keeps going.
Remember, all Dan TDM has done is make one tweet half a month ago. He has not mentioned the drama on any of his YouTube channels, meaning that most of his fans, who obviously follow him on YouTube, don't even know about this situation at all. It's only like the very tiny, minuscule portion of his fans that actually follow him on Twitter. So obviously, it's just not Dan TDM fans. It's literally your own fans that actually hate you. And obviously, you've gone a little bit off the deep end. Let's be honest, all right? You are absolutely losing your mind here. And I don't know what to say. If you're 30, 31 years old or whatever and acting like an anime villain in your videos, I think you need to get a grip and probably log off the internet for a little bit. Also, in my last video, a bunch of you in the comment section pointed out how annoying KSI's fake laughs are. And now that I'm watching him a little bit more, yeah, it's become so obvious that they are completely fake and it's just copium.
Look at how dead his eyes are. Like this is like literally like, this is a perfect example of that Wojak. That's like, he's got like the laughing mask on, but secretly he's crying. Like this is literally that. Like just, you didn't have to post this video. You can just say nothing. Why even respond? Why even engage? Just keep posting your normal content. It will go away. Why constantly engage and like let it drag on? You can just shut up. If you're already going to like sell stuff like this and there's going to be some kind of negative impression of it, like, why even say anything? If you just ignore it, it will go away. He's made it 10 times worse by continuing to respond and respond and respond and respond.
I don't know if you guys have watched any of those sitcoms where in the background they're always playing one of those laugh tracks because they need to artificially induce laughs from the audience because the joke isn't funny enough. He just sort of generates laughs himself to sort of cope with the fact that nobody is on his side. I mean, it's pretty obvious to me that you're pretty much crying inside, dude. And can I just say, Dan TDM made the tweet half a month ago. We are literally in a new month. It's October now. And this dude is still hardcore molding. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe the allegedly lead and mercury in his prime actually melted off his brain for once. There's no other explanation for this level of stupidity, in my opinion, all right?
I don't know what it is. It might just be pure ego. It might just be like him like wanting to revel in the fact that he's like gonna quote unquote get away with it and feel like he's like epic, but I don't know. It doesn't totally make sense to me. Maybe he just has nothing else to make content about, or he thinks that like acknowledging it will benefit him, but it's really not.
Also, turns out he's a massive hypocrite. Here's a clip of him criticizing Messi for quote-unquote copying Prime, but then he just goes around and does the same shit with Lunchly.
Messi new drink compared to Prime. Thoughts? I don't know about you, but it looks very similar to Prime. Am I right or am I right? Like, even the Ridge, like, come on, guys. Brother has just copied our homework. It's outrageous.
Outrageous, guys. It's totally outrageous. I wonder who would copy some other brand completely, taking exactly what they were doing, barely changing anything, and saying it has more electrolytes.
That is true. I mean, end of the day, you know, this guy's a businessman. He's gonna defend his boy Logan at all costs, and everything else be damned. There's this great this great quote from House of Cards. I'm getting a little too schizo here, but there's this great quote from House of Cards when Frank Underwood looks to the camera. He's like, "Are you mad at me? You think I'm a hypocrite? Well, you should. The path to power is paved with hypocrisy." And that is true. You know, the path to absolute, just like total recognition in this way, at least, you know, from like selling things, is often paved with a lot of hypocrisy, especially if you're a public figure who's going to like shit on other products.
It's cough, cough, Lunchables and Lunchly. Wow. Maybe KSI, Messi was just making a better for you alternative to Prime. You know, he was just doing a good thing, you know, taking market space from people who are not making the best product possible. I think he should be praised for that, honestly. What an absolute clown omega hypocrite, bro. Now, after this, KSI went on Twitter again and attempted to complain about Dan TDM, but this time he got ratioed so hard that he actually deleted his tweet. Here's a tweet from Drama Alert. KSI is still mocking Dan TDM. Basically, he tweeted, "Thanks for the free promo, pussy, at Dan TDM. DM me your bank details for the payment, lol." I think at this point, KSI is a better hydration drink than Prime because he actually has more salt. Here's what people are saying his fans are turning on him. "I grew up watching you, and now I've realized you never grew up. Do better."
This is the confusing thing. Like, from KSI's perspective, if you're going to be like the ultimate business dude, you would think that like continuing to stoke the flames of beef with Dan TDM would be just a bad move in general. Like, the thing you would want to do is just ignore it, right? Rather than like constantly shitting on him. Because ultimately what that does is just split your audience. You know, at this point, whatever the original criticism was and how valid it was, if you're just constantly shitting on the guy that's like seen as more likable, you're only going to be dividing your audience and making the people who are fans of him that hear about this not want to buy your product or respect you in any way. This is the story of success as a young person. I mean, in a way, but the thing is, like, he's not even that young. KSI is in his 30s now. I feel like he should have enough experience to know not to do this. He needs like some kind of PR department or something to help him to not act silly.
KSI's downfall is about to begin. Bro's so salty, it's insane. KSI tweeted him at least 13 times, all to receive no reply. Now, KSI actually ended up arguing with random people on Twitter, the other guy catching a left hook. Basically, somebody responded saying, "Bro, this is not helping you at all. Wrap it up and apologize. Your mother should apologize to me for creating you." So I guess because Dan TDM didn't respond, he just had...
Okay, that was based. Been watching you for years. I admire your ability to be genuinely diplomatic when faced with opposition and conflicting opinions. To be clear, sometimes I am diplomatic. Sometimes I have my head screwed on straight. But sometimes I will go insane scorched earth mode. Keep that in mind. Sometimes I will, okay? Make no mistake. There will be some kind of scenario in the future, I'm sure, when, you know, for some reason or another, I decide to completely shit on someone, okay? In one of my videos recently, in the video, the WestJet video, right? I think that's a good video. But there were a lot more comments I made in that video about that situation that I ultimately cut out because I was like, these just aren't going to help me, you know? But, you know, I kind of went quote unquote base mode in the original recording, and I cut out some of those because I was like, do I really need to say that? You know, when I have my head screwed on straight, sometimes I will, you know, be level-headed about it, and I can, you know, think about it. If I'm angry at something, I try to wait a day to see how I feel. But you know, once in a while, I will have a crash out moment. It will probably happen eventually.
To go reply to random people on Twitter. I mean, this is just getting sad, dude. This is the most unoriginal and weakest comeback in the book. He thinks he's in middle school. I think that's too old for him.
I like the your mom jokes. I think they're base, dude. That was cool.
The maturity level there is a bit high. I think down to primary school would be more like it. Now he made yet another follow-up tweet after getting community noted 2 times. The countdown is up. The apology video is now live and ready for you to view. Basically, if you remember the last video, he made a site to promote his music, and then he tweeted out that, oh, this is my apology, click on the link, and basically it would just go to his music. And I don't really get the logic there, because if I'm an angry fan and I click to see an apology, and then I get hit with your ear-piercingly dog-shit music, I think I'm just gonna sue you for auditory assault or something instead of actually becoming a fan. The link is 100%.
How bad is his music?
Misleading. It's a promo angle. As with the quoted tweet, this link is misleading as it's a promotion for a new single. This goes against X guidelines.
Oh, it goes against X guidelines. This is it. Like, man, why is some of it so fucking Reddit? Why are some of the complaints so Reddit? Can't you just make fun of KSI? It breaks X guidelines. Who cares? Who cares? X is gay. Twitter is gay, okay? Who cares, bro? Seriously. It breaks X guidelines. I told someone to buy a rope once. That probably breaks X guidelines.
By the way, if it goes against guidelines, why is it in a community note and not just deleting the tweet or something? Because, I mean, you can't expect Twitter to enforce any rules, but
Twitter doesn't enforce any rules now.
Faulty link is obviously a shady thing that you probably shouldn't do. And I would not click on any KSI or Logan links, all right? They are very experienced in the art of crypto scams. Oh my god, just let it go already. There's no way you're still talking about this. So just to recap.
This is the thing, like, people just get sick of it. People get sick of, like, when you get in drama, they get sick of, like, endlessly defending yourself, endlessly shitting on the opposition. Like, if you're gonna respond, okay, just get your one response out there and then just chill. Don't endlessly let it drag on and on and on and on and on and on and on. People get sick of it. They want to, the actual fans are probably even getting pissed off whether they like KSI or not. It's just like, I don't want to listen to this.
A 30-year-old full-grown man having a midlife crisis because one YouTuber made one tweet about him half a month ago. I mean, it's clearly got under his skin somehow. I feel like he's just really mad that people like Dan way more than they like him, and he just can't handle that. Because if we look at Dan's life right now, he's happily married, has a kid, still making videos he loves, raised an entire generation who actually loves him for it, and he never had to scam his own audience for it or sacrifice his morals. Meanwhile, KSI is here crying on the internet, trying to earn money.
This is the thing. It's not even about just the Lunchly thing, right? It's about who they are as people, generally speaking. Like Dan TDM, you know, big Minecraft YouTuber. Did he sell candy to his fans 10 years ago? Yeah, but it was 10 years ago. And by that same token, he's like a father. He does YouTube, but it's not like it's the only thing he cares about, right? He is like a real person who cares about people seemingly. And I'm not saying KSI is like a complete piece of shit, like irredeemable, like could never come back, but he's just such a YouTube guy. You know, he's 30 and his entire motivation is being a YouTube guy. And in some ways I respect the grind, the constant hustle. I have a little bit of that within me. But at the same time, a lot of people who are in the fan base who see this kind of shit are just like, you know, I don't want the YouTubers I watch to be like some kind of Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, just like, you know, Vince McMahon, you know, everything, you know, success at all costs, right? It's like people find relatability really important, I think.
Any way he can. NFTs, crypto, garbage, ultra-processed food, scamming fans, best friends with the guy who filmed a dead body for views, partnering with possibly some of the most questionable people on the planet right now. I know I got a 30 video series on him. And despite being 30, has the maturity of a 14-year-old. I don't know about you. I think that's pretty pathetic. Anyways, we gotta move on to his unofficial wife, Logan Paul, who has done something so absolutely insane. This is dystopian. Logan Paul has a child. And what do you think he immediately does? Logan Paul and partner Nina Agdal welcomed their first child, Esme, all right? Okay, wow, congratulations, Logan. This is the most important moment of your life. You're probably completely offline, you know, enjoying the moment, spending time with your wife, and promoting Lunchly. There's no way. There's no way this guy... This is a simulation. Logan Paul using his wife's pregnancy to promote Lunchly is so dystopian. And we got a picture of his wife in the hospital. I turned the hospital room into a vibe, and you can see in the corner.
This is what I'm talking about. It's just weird. It's just weird. Like, Logan Paul is a weird person. And ultimately, like, does he provide a lot of entertainment value? Has he done stuff that's impressive? Yeah, you can't deny that. But at the same time, like, personally, likability, I think, is important on YouTube to the audience. And Logan Paul is like, he's kind of a freak. He's just weird. I don't think it's something you have to be like raging or mad about, but it's just like you're having a kid and your instant thought is like, how can I promote this new thing I'm selling? It's just odd. Some Prime there too. Yeah, well, that's the thing. His entire life is built around his business.
Or something is lurking. Lunchly promotion, obviously gotta have that with the birth of your child.
And the thing is, like, this like weird behavior is like part of the reason why he's so successful and why all these guys are so successful. But at the same time, it just makes them like they're not even real people.
And he's holding up Lunchly and Prime while his wife is in the hospital bed.
He always does this shit and he keeps growing from it. Why would he stop? I mean, from his perspective, why would he stop, right? He doesn't really care.
I can't do this, man. If I'm Nina, I'm divorcing you immediately, dude. She gave birth and you're sat there with Prime and Lunchly, trying to use the birth of your child as an advertisement for more money. What? How absolutely soulless can you be? But should we really be surprised? This is Logan Paul, the man who filmed a dead body for views on the internet. The man that has allegedly done several crypto scams amounting to millions of dollars. Now listen up. If that actually is your child, Logan, because there is actually some internet discourse regarding that as well with the whole Dylan Dennis situation. But assuming that is actually your kid, I beg you, please do not feed them Lunchly or
I don't know. That's a little shitty. I don't know. I don't want to be too soy here, but like, it's his kid. Come on. It's not Dylan Dennis' kid. Dylan Dennis, you know, as much as Logan Paul is detestable, Dylan Dennis is a loser, okay? Dylan Dennis shit-talked Logan for months and months and months, called his wife a hoe, said he was going to beat him in the ring, said he was a real fighter, Logan's fake, and then he fucking lost. Dylan Dennis is a loser. I don't know. Going after his kid, I don't know. I find that a little shitty, man.
Feastables or Prime. If you actually want them to live past 40, please give them a regular, nutritious diet. I mean, knowing Logan, his next product is probably baby formula with extra electrolytes. Just be like, well, it has more potassium. It'll make your child grow taller for sure. He's probably going to take his Lunchly, grind it down into a powder, add some like water to that, and then put it in the kid's milk bottle. Gotta lace the pacifier with Prime as well, you know, make sure the kid gets his healthy dose of lead in there. Allegedly. At least that way your kid grows up as smart as you. Anyways, here's what people are saying. Think Before You Sleep says, all of you haters don't understand the grind. I gotta be grinding while my wife's giving birth, bro. I gotta get extra moolah, obviously. Sensitive Society, based Logan Paul, question mark? At least we'll see what Prime will do to a child. Okay, how much lead is in these, though? By the way, one of the top comments on my last video was something I actually didn't even think of. The reason they released Lunchly was actually to get rid of the garbage Feastables and Prime that was not actually selling anymore and was being found on clearance aisles, basically. So yeah, that was like their way of salvaging the product, and that completely failed as well.
Wait, is that? That's a big claim. Is that the reason? I mean, it's not like you could just take the Prime from the shelves that isn't sold and shove that into a Lunchly, right? You can't do that. Is that true at all? You really, like, they have to produce a bunch of like unique product, like unique Prime and unique Feastables to put in the Lunchly. I don't think that's really true. I feel like this is just kind of just like speculation, random shit thrown in here.
So They're just gonna have all the stock that is absolutely unsold
Like, it's just like a big assumption.
and make a massive loss money-wise. Is this real life? I can't tell sometimes. Neither can I, honestly. This is getting too stupid. The movie Idiocracy is actually coming to life. The baby's cooked, bro. Exposure to even low levels of lead can actually cause damage over time, especially in children. The greatest risk is brain development, where irreversible damage can occur. Okay, so then they'll turn out exactly like Logan, basically. This is in reference to the baby. Thought they'd call it Prime, to be honest. In the midst of all that Lunchley BS, I forgot this dude was gonna be a father. I mean, clearly the Lunchley drama was more important than his child, dude. Now, people are already memeing the situation. Maybe this is why. Is it really his child? Who else in Hollywood could it be? I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with my wife and my child. All right, regardless of whose child it actually is, I can almost
I think it's probably his kid, dude. I think it's probably his child. I haven't seen any definitive proof, or even, like, this is just crazy speculation. I've not seen anything suggesting that this is not Logan Paul's kid. But once again, this is like how important like likability is on YouTube. Like, if you're someone like Logan Paul, anything is just like justified, you know, even like a low blow like this, in my opinion. It's like you can just go for it, you know, it doesn't really matter to people.
100% guarantee you
like
that
roasting a
Logan Paul
baby.
will be using this child for content. I don't know if it's going to be a family channel or what else, but there is absolutely no way that this money-hungry demon could possibly let this opportunity for additional attention and money possibly slide. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, promoting Lunchley while your wife's on a hospital.
His money is her money. If my husband has a product, I'm letting him do a silly promo, and that money will put my kid through college. I mean, I'm not saying she didn't agree to it. Like, clearly she agreed to it. Like, she's his wife. You know, she married Logan Paul. She knows what she's getting into. It's not like she's like pissed off about it. But at the same time, Logan has enough money already to put the kid through college, you know? He does. I still think it's kind of cringe. Maybe that's just my personal perspective, but when I have a family, they're not being anywhere near the internet.
Hospital bed. Logan actually took it a step further, because you would think he'd be busy attending to his wife and child like a normal father or husband or whatever, but instead he's arguing with people on Instagram. Logan Paul is beefing with Ryan Garcia after being congratulated under his newborn announcement post. So this is on Instagram. Ryan Garcia says congratulations, and Logan Paul responds, "Prime's still suing you for lying, but thanks. I could care less about your lawsuit. I'm giving a congrats to the birth of your child." And then we got a picture of the family. Obviously, Logan's eyes filled with money bags here. Oh my god, I can turn you into so much views and money. Oh my god, I can't wait. Bro's thinking about lawsuits on his daughter's birthday. Crazy. All that shit talk, and he still hasn't paid for CryptoZoo actually to refund the victims. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. Logan Paul, hello, I like money. Honestly, at this point, I don't know who's more pathetic, KSI or Logan. I think Logan still has the top spot, but KSI is slowly crawling his way up there, just getting in.
All right. Kind of watch the second video about this. See what other information we can glean. KSI situation just got worse. Oh, so we watched that one too. Lol. I kind of watched KSI's full response. So this video, this is what I'm talking about with likability. Like, he just comes across as so fucking fake. When you watch the fake laughter, it is incessant in this video.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Like, there's no emotion or humor in his eyes. If anything, he looks like he's holding back tears.
Today we're doing a Reddit video. This should be fun. But without further ado, Lunchley, ladies and gentlemen. Me, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul have launched Lunchley. If you've had Lunchables, this is mainly for my American audience. If you had Lunchables, yeah, I guess they were good at the time. Well, we've made something better. If you don't believe me, try it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I'm excited to see your reviews. In our product, we have real cheese, and ours just tastes way better than Lunchables. Plus, you get a little mini Prime, and you also get a feastable chocolate bar. And I don't know about you, but the chocolate in America sucks. And I think a lot of British people can verify that as well. But I gotta admit, Jimmy's new formula, when it comes to chocolate, is very good. I think I had the cookies and cream. Oh my god. So good. I literally...
It's not that good. I'm not going to say it's complete shit, but it's not that good. It's like, you know, it's about the same as Hershey's. They fixed the formula because the old formula, I think they tried to be too healthy with it, and it just wasn't that good. But the new one is like, I think they've just given up on the simplicity of the formula and the healthiness, and now it just tastes like normal chocolate, basically. But, you know, it is KSI, so he's going to shill for his boy.
Message him like, brother, send me more. Send me more of this chocolate, please. Anyway, enough of the shilling. Let's let's get straight into this. Nah, JJ's cooked, bro. And then there's a tweet from Jacksepticeye. You mess with Dan TDM, you mess with YouTube. I mean, that's cringe.
He's right, it is. That was very Reddit. But once again, cringe is in the eye of the beholder. More specifically, for the general public, cringe is in the eye of whoever is more likable, basically.
Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Hopefully the next few posts should give a bit more context to what's going on. A Dan TDM response to JJ and Logan's new announcement. There we go. Here's the context we need. So, obviously released launchly, and Dan TDM replied. This is what he had to say.
What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money.
I wonder what's worse, Talk to Her, an hour of KSI. I would say probably an hour of KSI. Talk to Her is amazing. It gives me a reason to be alive. I think it's clearly like Talk to Her is amazing.
Simple. How does this benefit their lives? This is selling crap to kids who...
Like the thing is, like, I even kind of agree, like, this is like kind of a silly thing to get mad about, but like this, just like the fakeness and the fake laughter.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, let me go to Twitter to show my response. Now, for those of you that don't know, I actually came off Twitter a while ago because I think my feed was just fucked. But yeah, I was just seeing some crazy weird stuff to the point where, I don't know.
Holy shit, the bots are going crazy right now. We got a little system-wide ban real quick. We got to go into the system. Hopefully it'll be fixed now.
I was messing with my psyche, messing with my aura, and I was like, all right, I need to get...
Mess with my psyche, mess with my aura. Like, once again, he just comes across as a very, like, fake, unrelatable person. And I think that's a lot of the problem for KSI now, you know? I think that if someone else had done Lunchly, it probably would have gone over much easier. What I'm very curious about now is, like, considering the bad press that Mr. Beast in particular has gotten, because, like, KSI and Logan Paul, they're not as big as Mr. Beast, and they also don't rely on collabs as much. For Mr. Beast, is he going to be able to pull those, like, giant collab videos where he has, like, 100 YouTubers in them anymore? I feel like he probably won't. His laugh sounds like DSP's laugh a little bit. I turned 38. Am I finally allowed to be your internet dad or an internet dad? I think you're definitely an internet dad, dude, in my opinion. Holy shit. Hold on. We got to change things a little bit here. All right. But yeah, I'm very curious because he did this video that was like this video, 50 YouTubers fight for $1 million. All these people will get so much shit now if they were to be in a Mr. Beast video, right? Like, all of them will get so much shit. Like Jay Schlatt, Quackity, Ludwig, Kai Cenat, Sketch. Like, they would all get so much. Even like some of the Sidemen guys, I think they'd get a lot of shit publicly if they were to be, yeah, MKBHD, Jaden Animations. Like, the public backlash if they appeared in a Mr. Beast video right now with the allegations like unresolved would be so insane. iShowSpeed. Is that Miranda Cosgrove? Is that iCarly? Like, they would get absolutely destroyed publicly right now. So I think they're just going to avoid it entirely. I think that's going to be a big effect on Mr. Beast's business for sure. He's only going to be able to do videos with random people now.